Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. It's never too late or too far traveled for your second day of the ski season.
I drove up from Albuquerque yesterday just to get the end of the season, so I'm stoked.
That was Matt today up at Loveland on the mend from a 6-hour drive and back-to-back injuries.
Unfortunately, I didn't get as much skiing in because I broke my pelvis last year.
How many days you got this season on that broken pelvis?
Just one at Santa Fe. The pelvis did fine, but the next morning I popped a tendon in my foot playing pickleball.
Lift lines and parking lots were jam-packed at Loveland and A Basin for a 2-foot storm that never actually materialized. Off-duty Loveland employee Nia was bummed, but not that bummed.
Barely any clouds in sight and a lot of snow and good people to share it with.
Now forecasters are calling for another storm, 5 to 6 inches, tomorrow into Friday. The jury trial for Summit Middle gym teacher Leonard Grams is delayed by 5 months until September for a blunder between attorneys. On the eve of the trial, Grams' defense received a, quote, significant amount of evidence with no time to review it. The DA's office thought they'd received it earlier. Both agreed, no fault on either side. Grams waived his right to a speedy trial. The new roundabouts on Highway 9 in Frisco are getting a makeover this summer, and the town, it'll be saving some cash.
Thanks for value engineering as you did, and in this world of every 6 months adds on another $1 million is like, this is good news.
That work is coming in under budget by a few $100,000. It starts after July 4th. Town of Breck is looking ahead to summer and special guests at the 4th of July parade.
We'll have the Minnesota Marching Band as well as the Broncos drumline.
That was Lucy Kay with Breck Tourism Office. She tells council summer lodging is down from last year, but chalks it up to a pair of big conferences not returning. This week on the State of Summit, Town of Frisco hopes to create a housing authority. This is what it does from a housing attorney, John Peterson.
The creation of a housing authority would allow the town to have a more direct and impactful opportunity to develop affordable housing within the town.
Here's what that means for developers.
It can have a very significant impact on their capital stack and their financing, to the point of, in many cases, it's the difference between a project being able to move forward and a project not being able to move forward.
Peterson and the town finance director assure council this will not hinder future or existing workforce projects in Frisco.
What we're currently envisioning and describing is not to add on to anything more than what staff has currently been doing.
Next up is a public petition which recommends the authority and a resolution from council. All this could be coming together in just a few weeks. Tune in again next week for the State of Summit on Krystal 93. In sports, the Rockies lost to the Guardians today 4-1, snapping their longest streak of the season at 2 games. Tonight, the Avalanche play the Kraken in Game 5 of the postseason at 7:30 on ESPN. And in local sports, registration's now open for the Run the Rockies summer races in Frisco. Trail race is August 12th. Road is September 16th. Registration's already full for the Frisco Triathlon in July, but you can still sign up for the wait list. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.